Hi, everybody. This is John Demena, rock artist out of Los Angeles. Originally born and raised in Spain, been here for close to a decade with a new album just out titled Dreams and Lies. Just came out last year. I'm very happy to be here with the Australian brothers and sisters and, wishing you a rocking day, man. Happy to be here.
Beautiful, John. Thanks for joining us today, bro.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. So, firstly, for those over here in Australia unfamiliar with the name John Demena, tell us a bit more about yourself and your music.
So I'm a rock artist out of Los Angeles. I grew up in Spain and moved out here 2008, like around like the recession and all that. And then I was playing in bands and like doing sessions for other musicians and like playing in different things. And then like I started my recent project, which is like a solo artist type of thing, like 5 years ago. It's the debut album came out last year. It's titled Dreams and Lies. It's like a very like cool and diverse type of like sonic sphere, like all over the spectrum. And the rock is like something that it's like goes in the I would say hard rock type of sound, but sometimes it goes a little heavier. Sometimes it can be a little more like spatial and like progressive, a little bit here and there. Super cool reception that it had for being an independent artist. Like it's being like everywhere, like the bigger outlets picked it up, and then we started like a mini tour when it came out, and excited to do our first headlining West tour in the spring. That's going to be March and April. And working on the next album, hoping to be coming out by the end of 2024. So full force rock artist, very song driven type of music. It's very the music has a sound that it may be a little vintage, like very classic rock type of thing, and then very like song driven, like heavy guitars and big riffs and big choruses type of music.
Very good, mate. And you're premiering a live song called "I the People" via Heavy on January the 27th, mate. So tell us a bit more about that song.
Yeah, that's very exciting. That's the album opener. That's the song that we was the first one that we released for the album, and then this is going to be a very exclusive and cool premiere for a live performance that we did at the iconic Viper Room here in West Hollywood in Los Angeles. It was a performance that we did in September. And then we filmed a video that came out very cool. I think is like it's a great example of what the band is like. It's like life, and it gives like the idea of what the band sounds like and the energy. And I think it like, will be very cool, and people will really like what the band performs like, and it gives like a great example of like our live show.
I was going to ask you why you decided to re-release the song live after already releasing it first, but then I thought if you get a chance to perform at the Viper Room, why wouldn't you share it with the world?
Yeah, that was like, yeah. This song is like it's a more experimental type of song. It's like very very big riff. I mean that's what everybody likes, that riff, and the solo is really like passionate type of thing. That's a very long intro because it's like it's the album opener, and it was like the way that I wanted to present myself to the world. It's like it's your first album. That's how you come out. And I wanted this kind of like cryptic, like ethereal type of build-up that it just building tension, building tension, building tension. It just explodes in like a big riff. And then it's just like pure like dynamite. Like from that moment onwards, as this song doesn't even catch some breath. And then we have that performance. I always felt that that was a song to release with a live performance. Like the other videos that we released were more conceptual. They were more like, thematic, or they were a little more, futuristic, or like it was a little more artistic. But I was like, this song, I want to release something that just gives you an idea. I was like, oh my God, I would like to see what this band is live. It's like live. And then I think it was like the best, moment to release it too, now that we are like about to go on tour.
And look, us over here in Australia, we've only heard stories about the Viper Room, but as an artist performing there, mate, like, what's it like? Like, there's so much history and stuff involved with that place. It must be pretty surreal.
I mean, it's pretty surreal. It's really busy. I mean, it's just, there are performances every day. It's just one of those places that, like, especially when I moved out here, you hear about, the Viper Room, like the whiskey, the rainbow to hang out and all that. Then I started like just being a frequent. I mean, I didn't know anyone over here, and then you just end up, and one day you see Slash performing over there for like an exclusive type of thing, or like Johnny Cash performed there, or Green Day, or I mean, it's just like the venue is very iconic, and it's still true to the essence of like like a scene that it's happening and that it's always happening. Like, and it's just like, it's just very cool to be there. Sometimes, like it's, like very busy. You just go and there are like too many bands, but I think it's like the perfect place for a band to cut their teeth, like, because it's like, it's a place that, it's not very forgiving because it's hard to impress in a venue where people have seen so many things, like it's just, it's hard to, so it's a great place to showcase what you like, and then it's just, it's just very cool stage to perform. I mean, it's just, so we thought that it was like a perfect type of like footage to use for the video.
We first met after I heard your cover of the Doors classic "People Are Strange," which was awesome, bro. So tell us about your take on that song and why you chose to cover it.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate that you love the song. So I signed a distribution deal with ADA, which is still like independent distribution, but that's Warner's independent distribution.
Okay, yep.
So then, after like arranging the whole thing for my album to come out, like a couple months after, they reached out with this cool opportunity. They were like, "Hey, Warner wants to have newly signed artists cover a couple of like the classic Halloween songs from the Warner catalog." And there was like Warren Zevon, Werewolves of London, awesome song for Halloween. Talking Heads, Psycho Killer, and the Doors, People Are Strange. And then I was like, they were like, if you want to participate, it was like very intense because it's like you have 2 months to submit everything, like music, master music, like the video we did later, like the artwork and all that. So I always loved that song. And then like being in LA, like I was like even I used to live in the area that was surrounded by Doors history, like like studios where they recorded, or like there are even a couple bars where plaques where Jim Morrison used to be here and all
Wow.
that. So I was like, it would be cool to do this. But here's the thing is like, and that's my take on covers, is like originals are untouchable. Like you cannot touch the original. It's so attached to many people's, emotions and moments and memories. So I was like, if I want to do this, I want to do it, in a type of different way that still is true to the essence of the original, but you also showcase a new artist. So I was like, I was very creative, and I think that you can really feel that throughout the song. I was like, okay, so the song is kind of like on the fast side. I'm just going to juxtapose it, make it a little slower. Then, if their verses are kind of like the big thing for them, like where more instrumentation is happening, I'm going to kind of like shave down my verses, keep the same structure, keep it like more intimate. And then if their choruses are kind of like a little quieter, I'm going to make the choruses grow. So that way you follow the whole thing, but it's almost like it's kind of juxtaposed. The solo was also the same. I was like, I want to kind of like be in the same vein of like the original solo, but I want to do like a little bluesier too. And then my favorite part of the song is the bass, because with the bass I took some liberties and make it this very kind of like jazzy type of thing with the bass. And then it was very cool. It was like, for the challenge that you want to do it right, I was like, dude, like if I don't do a good cover of this, how am I gonna walk these streets and see, like Doors, and it's like every day and be like, dude, look what you did. So I'm glad that the video came out very cool too. It was featured on MTV Germany, which is for an independent artist. It was like it was great, and then and people are digging it. And then when we play it live, I was not even thinking about playing it because it's kind of like on the slower type of thing. But
Yeah.
we played on a parts of the show that it turns into like a little hypnotic type of thing, and people really dig it. So people come and say, man, that song was super cool, because I knew the song, but I was surprised all the time. I say, okay, let's see what he does now. Or like, so that was very cool. It was like a stressful project, but I'm happy that came out the way it is.
Yeah, so it's like all those changes that you mentioned that you did, like they add to the song. Like some songs you just can't touch, like you say. But how did you feel like changing a piece of music that's known and loved by so many people around the world? Like you say, like it would have been a bit nerve-wracking, because if you didn't nail it, there'd be so many people just knocking down your door saying, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that's I mean, for covers, I mean, I try to, not do many or stay away, or if I do something, is to offer something new, like to offer a different take or like a different flavor where you're like still, you know, paying tribute to the original and staying true to the original, but you kind of see another artist and it's, oh, that's an interesting, decision, or that's an interesting type of thing. It was great. I mean, I even got the great opportunity to have Jimmy Kimmel's keyboardist Jeff Babko on keys. Like that I met like years ago on a jazz club over here. That we talked for years. It was like, I would love to have you work on something, but my music doesn't have a lot of keyboards. It's only in a couple of songs. So my music is more like straight ahead rock and roll. So now that this opportunity came up, I was like, man, like, would you like to work on this with me? And it was like, yeah, I would love to do it. Like the Doors, and and then he made it sound like that Fender Rose type of sounds and all that, like cascading. It was like, like right. So it was like the perfect opportunity for something that I was hoping to, somebody that I was hoping to work with for like maybe a decade or something.
Wow, so good, so good. And then you mentioned in our emails that you're keen to tour Australia too, mate. Like, what's it going to take to make that happen?
I mean, just growing a little more, it's our first album. I mean, we still like a young band, because I mean, we started like a year before the pandemic, so that like stopped everything, and then right after we just hit the ground running. Like the album came out, and we were like boom, 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 like shows here and there. So maybe just growing a little bit, maybe having a bigger team or something that makes it, I mean, at least profitable to go over there. Like it's always a dream to. I mean, I grew up in Europe, so I played over there for a while. I've been in the US now for over a decade. So playing in the US, that was a dream too when I was a kid. It's also, but then now seeing all the, like the big, festivals in Australia, like the bands, talk about the experience over there. I mean, that's to me, like, that will be a dream, just to one day, even if we're like, just, in a huge tour or something like that, then we're like, like the first bands to play. But, that's just, I would love to cut my teeth over there and grow, and then, and develop a fan base over there. I would love to.
Beautiful. Hopefully that happens one day, mate. But in the meantime, the live version of I the People is released on January the 27th via Heavy. So check it out.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, looking forward to this release. I think you guys will love it, and just let us know, like, and then you can get a sense of what the band is, the performance is like, and then our live show.
Beautiful, mate. All right, John. Well, thanks very much for your time today, bro. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I'm sure we'll talk again in the future.
All right, thanks so much for having me. Real honor, and then we'll talk soon. And everybody, stay safe, rock and roll, have a good time.